Ah?
Kung
Well,
hindi sila
ngayong,
magta-television, parang ang hirap makaano.
nung panahon na yun, syempre mas dominant pa rin ang
Mas
TV.
dominant, no?
Ngayon, lesser na, pero dominant pa rin. No,
Mm.
dominant pa rin ngayon. Ibig sabihin, kung ang social media nandyan ngayon pero hindi pa tested eh. Hindi pa siya tested eh. Na yan ba ay magde-deliver sa iyo para manalo? Ngayong election na ito yung test case eh.
Hmm.
Ngayon yung
Yun na
test
nga yung
case.
magandang example eh. Si Willie Ong, nasa 18, 19 pa rin. Although, yung kanyang social media, napakalakas. Si Bosita, napakalakas sa amin sa social media. Pero yung awareness niya sa Pulse Asia, number 36% lang eh. So,
Mm,
umaga sobrang sikat na sa amin yun sa social media. Pero
mm.
sa overall, 36% lang. So, ang laki pa nung ano niya, parang awareness niya umabot sa
Actually,
90-80% eh.
mas mataas ba si Doc Willie Ong noong 2019?
Mm.
No? Mas mataas pa si Doc Willie Ong kaysa kay Jinggoy at saka kay Marojas at saka kay
Oo.
Bam Aquino noong
Mm.
2019 no?
Mm.
Kaya siguro ngayon dahil nagkasakit siya, baka yung mga ibang mga tao ay nakaapekto 'yon, no? Doon sa preference. I'm not too sure dahil
Mm.
wala naman akong data para i-breakdown kung ano ba yung
You
dahilan.
need focus group discussions, FTGs ang kailangan mo for that also.
Tsaka yung longer survey papers.
Mm.
Usually kasi yung mga papers na yan, mga more than 200 yan eh. Eh wala naman tayong hawak ngayon eh. Ang
Yung mga
nahawak lang natin yung
data,
Ang iniisip ko
100.
sana ano eh, bubuo kami as a group eh. As a parang bagong slate or third slate para lang yung media coverage, yung media attention mas ano. Kasi pag
Mm.
paisa-isa kami, syempre, yung media hindi eh. They will go either sa Duterte side o sa admin side. Pero kung
parang
magkakasama kami mga
dispensables,
independent,
parang dispensables, gawa kayo ng parang Justice League nito.
Halimbawa, noong
oo eh.
2022 elections, pwede mong kunin yung 300 pages mahigit ng Juni Lilo survey. Pwede mong kunin yung 250 pages ng Pulse at SWS. No? Ngayon, wala tayong hawak na ganun eh. Para maunawaan mo, ano ba talaga yung determinant? Bakit ganito yung lumalabas na resulta? Sa ngayon, na nakikita natin are all summaries. Tapos nung nakaraang eleksyon, talagang may kuwang ka may weekly focus group discussion ka para nako-complement yung resulta ng surveys. Ah. Mm.
Mm, Now let's talk about obviously the other breakout figure of the year, no? I mean, on one hand, si Rafi Tulfo was able to sustain yung kanyang position as the leading or at least tied for the leading candidate. Mukhang, Sir Ronald, no, pag sinama natin yung mga ibang surveys na hindi published, Rafi's ahead now of Sara, no? We can confidently say that, no? Kasi dun sa published ng Pulse Asia and even SWS, almost statistically tied sila ni Sara, eh. But you would think Rafi has kind of cemented that position as the front runner now
So,
for
ko alam,
2028.
Big R, dahil parang ang naglabas lang ng presidential preference, Okta eh. Naglabas ba ang nilabas,
Meron Pulse Asia. Meron.
nilabas ang
Statistically tied.
yeah.
Statistically tied. One or two.
Hindi ko nakita. Ang
Yeah.
nakikita ko kasi approval ratings eh. Iba yung approval ratings sa presidential preference eh. No? Ang nakita ko pa lang na presidential preference ay Okta. Medyo nagkwampa sila ngayon, nagdebate sila dahil parang masyadong maaga na maglabas ng presidential preference 3.5 years
Pulse
before.
Asia already did it, so I think it's the name of the game. Obviously, as Mark was correctly saying kanina, 20.
Unless commissioned yan. Ibig sabihin private yan na inilabas. Paano yung public, yung for public consumption, wala akong nakita.
Yeah, yung Pulse Asia meron. It's for public, you
Ah,
can see that. Yeah. So kaya interesting. I think more ahead si Tulfo sa Okta kaysa sa Pulse Asia because Pulse Asia was
sa
almost
sa sa Okta kasi kwan siya 34% at 35 si Sarah was 34. Lamang siya. Statistically tied sila. Hmm. Nawala ka Richard.
having said that, what is Rafi getting right so far, and what are the things he should be worried? I mean, obviously getting right in the sense that he's avoiding talking about the whole unit team conflagration. He's just focusing what he has to focus on. But at the same, if two more Tulfos go to the Senate, one of them tops the race. Couldn't he face competition from one of his brothers for 2020? And couldn't that or an embarrassment of riches backlash situation?
Well, the only way to stop the compelling Tulpo brand is for them to be divided for now, no? If they are united, they're almost unstoppable. As a brand, as a brand, no? Pero kung mahahati sila, yun yung kanilang vulnerability. Ah, lalo na halimbawa ngayon, si Ben ay nasa labas ng administration, although ang sinasabi ni Ben ay maayos naman yung relasyon niya sa administration, pero sa dulo kasi diyan, dahil may mga nangangalib ka na administration, maglalaglagan yan. Maglalaglagan yan. No? Kahit yung mga magkakakampi, maglalaglagan yan. Ang sa ngayon kasi yung opposition na medyo nasa Magic 12 pa ay si Bongo. Kaya may probability na sa kanya magfo-focus yung lahat ng mga special ops dahil si Bato at saka si Amy ay medyo palabas na eh. No, isusustain na lang nila 'yan. Pero baka gumawa sila ng extra effort against Bongo. Against Bongo.
Si Willie Revillame po ba? Counted ba?
Well,
Should we count Willie Revillame as part ng Duterte na grupo?
yeah. Well, before siya nag-independent, mas malapit siya sa mga Duterte, 'di ba? Pero sa ngayon dumidistansya siya dahil alam niya baka baka ipuntiryahin din siya, 'di ba? Ang packaging niya ngayon independent. Although before yan ay malinaw naman nandun siya sa Duterte camp. No? Pero ngayon ang ginagamit niya ay syempre yung popularity ng Willie Revillame brand, which is basically showbiz. Which is basically showbiz. No? Pero kung ikaw ay number 8, tapos ikaw ay o-operate, pwede ka pang mahulog. Huwag niyong kalimutan, ng 2019, number 4 sa survey si Coco Pimentel. But he ended up number 11. Ibig sabihin, muntik na rin siya.
Yeah.
Administration pa siya noon, ha? Hindi siya opposition noon, ha? Admin siya. Pero
Senate President siya.
Ang feeling niya ay nilaglag siya ng mga sarili niyang kasama. So, ibig sabihin na Mark, even within one slate ay hindi ka nakakasigurado. Maglalaglagan yan, no?
Now I want to talk about the other breakout star. I mean, I think the year was so far good for Rafi Tulfo. So it's just a matter of sustaining that. But the other person who did also very well this year is Riza Ontiveros. We may not see it necessarily in the numbers in terms of preference for the presidency, a little bit more on the vice president, I would say. But nevertheless, she's part of the conversation. Nevertheless, I mean, I think Mark also can attest that Mark doesn't come from a kind of a progressive background, but as a kind of a mainstream median voter kind of a person, you can see ang appeal ni Risa Ontiveros has really dramatically gone beyond the usual pink or even progressive circles. No, Mark, what is your read of the rise of Risa Ontiveros this year?
Ayun. Like katulad din nung magandang example yun yung sinasabi ko kanina eh. Importante yung subject eh. Importante yung ginagawa ng subject. And nakataon yung si Risa for kung ano mang kung sinasadya man yan or nagkataon lang, she stumbled upon dalawang malaking mga issues na talagang naging malaking balita this year. One of course is yung kay Kibuloy na para sa akin is the biggest loser this year na yung kanyang fall ay talagang sobrang bilis ngayong taon. One is Kibuloy and of course the other one is yung kay Alice Guo na talagang and she was able to capitalize, to maximize yung kanyang social media strategy is on point at she carried herself well. So ayun eh, it's just a matter of kumaga leveling up na lang dun sa next level. She got people's attention. Kumaga nakita nila na, uy, nagtatrabaho itong senador na to, ganyan dapat yung mga senador. It's just a matter of leveling up na, convincing people na she deserves, o kumbaga she could be a good candidate for VP or president sa 2028.
Pero anong kailangan pa niyang gawin, Mark? Dahil lang siya, 3%. Yeah. Ibig sabihin, parang hindi commensurate yung naging visibility niya, yung
Taas,
naging
no?
yung kanya napakataas, pero bakit 3%, no? Anong dapat niyang gawin, no?
Oo nga, no?
Para lumampas naman doon, no? Sabi
That's
mo
a
nga,
good question.
napakalakas niya sa social media,
Or maybe I'll make it a bit easier, no, Mark. Let's say how could Riza could put herself in a position to be a contender, top contender for VP or P president if one of the big names drops out for some reason. Let's say Sara doesn't run or Tulfo doesn't run. How can she be that? Kasi medyo
Una yung ano eh. Ang unang tanong ko is yung Lenny, how much ba nakakaapekto yung people still wanting, everyone dun sa side niya, still wanting to Lenny to be the standard bearer for 2028.
Because
Baka may,
Lenny has 9%.
yun eh. Baka
Yeah.
yung 9 na yun, kung wala si Lenny, baka na kay Risa na yun eh. So, kung yung 4 niya, 12 na dapat.
And then
Batas nga,
suddenly
ikukuha na
she's in
lang.
the conversation, right? Then suddenly, if you have 12 to 15%, you are in the conversation. That's big
Pero
enough.
paano kung tutuloy si Lenny? Paano? That's a very distinct possibility at this point.
Yun nga eh. Yun din ang problema ko kung merong Rafi tapos
Yeah,
Sara tapos
VP.
tutuloy si Lenny
Yeah,
eh.
VP talaga. I think Risa should realistically look at maybe VP if that's the case. If A, Lenny is not sure not running, and B, it's not sure na yung supporters ni Lenny ay lilipat kay Risa, I think realistically Risa should look at VP.
Siguro ano eh. Siguro it's time din for Senator Risa to start growing outside doon sa ano eh. Doon sa base ng Pinks eh. Kasi yung Pinks naman will line up with her naman if Lenny doesn't run eh. Maybe it's time to start collaborating with other ano nga ba? Medyo
Yeah,
mahirap.
kasi leader of opposition siya eh.
Top of mind ko yung mga katulad ni Eli San Fernando na 'di ba nung isang araw nagrarally against sa PhilHealth and ano. So yun ibang ano yun eh. Yung base niya is not ano eh, is not kakamping not solely kakamping eh. Pero medyo may malapit na ano, medyo may malapit na merong mga nag-intersect na mga causes. Mga ganong klase siguro. Maybe ano eh, it's time to grow yung kanyang base outside doon sa nabuo nung kakampings eh.
Sir, how do you see that? How
Maybe
can
yung progressive ano talaga.
yun nga, how can she go beyond the opposition, progressive, genuine opposition kind of circle? How can she expand the parameters?
Siguro yun eh, mga collaboration ng mga hindi kakampings eh. Collaboration from the other side eh. Kasi yun lang nga, syempre, sa umpisa, medyo magre-react yung base mo nun. Bakit ka sumasama dyan? Bakit mo, kumbaga, bakit ka umaano dito? Bakit
Parang
ka
yung mga ginagawa
nakikipag-alyansa
sa akin, di
dito?
ba, Mark? Parang yung mga ginagawa sa akin. Bakit ka sumasayaw? Bakit ka sumusuntok-suntok sa GBGC? Bakit ka
How about a more
nagpapaganon?
populist ano for Risa? Kung ganong style, will that work kaya? I don't know. Pero that's a good question nga kung paano siya magle-level up. Pero one I think collaborate with other ano eh, with other nga yung mga tipo ni Ellie, tipo ni sino pa ba? O, basta yung medyo hindi naman masyadong nasa Marcos o masyadong nasa Duterte, medyo nasa gitna. Maybe it's time to build ano na eh, a separate coalition branding na different from kakampings eh.
Yun nga, inisip ko, Mark and Ronald,
Find an issue siguro. Siguro maghanap ng issue na talagang
she should become more showbiz or quote unquote baduy. Is that the way forward, Sir Ronald? Do you think realistically Riza can do that? Can she become more showbiz and baduy? If that's what it takes?
Well, sinubukan nila yan dun sa Checky Bam nila, di ba? Parang hindi masyadong nag-click eh. So, ibig
Baka
sabihin,
not baduy enough or not showbiz.
di ba, dapat may binabagayan din eh. Or ah, baka ibang branding. Ang problema kasi nila, wala silang brand eh. Unlike halimbawa sa ipatulpo mo, di ba? Sa ngayon, ang may dominant brand are the Dutertes and the Tulfos. Kahit kasi yung Marcos, hindi pa ganun ka-develop yung brand nila eh. No? Kaya, kaya pandin eh.
siguro
Medyo,
a television show could also help.
Hmm. Yes, yes. Well, matagal sa TV si Risa
Yeah, exactly.
with
She comes from a media background. So, yeah, maybe
Danny David.
So natural sa kanya yung ano.
Naging newscaster siya, no? Et cetera, no? Yung sister niya nasa broadcast din. So, pero hindi ko alam kung anong TV show yung pwede ngayon eh at this point, no?
baka,
Ay, idagdag ko din sa Ronald. Yun nga, like I said nga.
Lalo na kung senador ka, lalo na kung senador ka, di ba? Full-time senator ka eh.
yeah, and you cannot
Oo,
do like
yeah. Kailangan din yung mga diehard Risa na vloggers. Siguro it also starts there. Kailangan merong mga nakikipagbakbakan na kunyari, group of 3 hanggang 5 vloggers, pro Risa lang sila, kahit na anong mangyari, Risa lang. So, maybe develop from the ranks of Akbayan or
diehard.
doon eh na kumbaga i-float na yung idea na Risa for president eh. Simulan sa ganun eh. Tapos doon naman lalabas eh kung ano yung comment ng kung ano yung kung ano yung kulang, ano yung comment ng mga tao. Pero maganda ngayon pa lang, siguro medyo pina-float na nung iba.
Pero di ba
Para,
kasabay niyan dapat meron kang brand,
ano ba
di ba?
pila?
Ano, halimbawa yung Tulpo may brand eh. Di ba?
Hmm.
Matagal mo lang kilala yung Tulpo eh. Di ba? Kaya yun lang
Always the
yun
verb. Patulfo
when
mo yan.
you think of Risa, ano yung maiisip mo na parang household brand? Yung gano'n.
Can she
Parang
do a little bit of a kind of a mestiza version of Miriam Defensor, something like that? Iron Lady of yung mga ganyan, yung babalahul.
masyadong
Yun nga eh,
parang
medyo.
masyadong quirky yun eh. Si Miriam, di ba? Masyadong quirky eh. Parang he's a league on her own eh. Parang mahirap mong gayahin
Parang Ronald De Amas yan, medyo mahirap
eh.
gayahin.
Talagang may sapi eh.
Yun nga eh.
Medyo, paano mo gagawing more
Oo.
populist si Risa eh? Yung ganong, yung, parang puro ganun kasi nananalo eh. puro,
I mean, can
puro
she
ganun
do
yung
a
hinahanap
Bernie
ng tao.
Sanders populist?
Yun nga
Left
eh, mga
populist.
ganong klase eh.
Left populist.
Yun yung nagmamarka eh.
Left populist. Obviously, Mark, she cannot do the populist na pro EJK and pro that, but maybe she can do more
Mm.
left
Definitely, oh,
populist,
definitely.
Bernie Sanders, Melon Shaw-ish, right? Maybe that's one thing. But she has time. She has more than 2 years to figure out. But she has to experiment.
Mga class warfare na yan, yung mga ganon. Medyo it sounds ano eh, it sounds medyo parang dirt, pero parang yun yung gumagana eh. Kapag
Well,
medyo populist yung
because
inaano
it
eh.
makes sense, di ba, Mark? I mean, talagang karamihan natin mga kababayan na hindi nagbe-benepisyo sa ating ekonomiya. So,
Oh.
of course, class warfare is sensible.
Oh,
But
dahil ang isang essence ng populism, di ba, Big R? Create a huge enemy and create a huge solution. Di ba? Ikaw yung solution. Pero create that enemy first, di ba? Ito yung kalaban. And then, ikaw yung magkwan. Tapos in between, magtaob ka na lamesa. Become disruptive. Di ba? Become disruptive.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Yun.
obviously, a great year for Rizzo Antiverse without the question, but no room for complacency, more experimentation, more things to push. But obviously, the other person we have to mention is I call her the comeback queen of the year. I mean, incredible. Lenny Robredo ended the year on the note that she did, in a sense that everyone had to go to her and to greet her and then show respect from from senatorials to the vice president, and then the meeting in Sorsogon with the president, even Robin Hood Padilla, lahat na lang, di ba, pumunta kay Lenny Robredo. And then of course, Lenny really showed the mettle of her leadership. Grabe yung trending online among others nung nakita ng tao how she was helping people. 'Di ba? Hindi ito glamour shot. Talaga pumunta siya sa mga apektadong lugar doon sa Bagyo nung November. Marami siyang tinulungan. So I think Lenny really ended on a very, very strong note. I mean, Totka, everyone was saying that the one that got away. But she won't be getting away if she does very well in mayor office in the next 2, 3 years. And for sure, 2027, she will be once again discussed as a
And with 2 years na tahimik siya, tapos ngayon 9% siya, ibig sabihin not too bad.
not too
Di
bad,
ba?
very strong
Diba?
residual.
Two
Yeah.
years siya na halos tahimik eh. Di
And
ba?
she's not even running for a national position.
Itong past few months lang siya lumantad ulit doon sa Bagyo, di ba? Doon sa mga bisita sa kanya, di ba?
Richard,
Ikaw, Mark, anong read mo dun sa Lenny, her comeback?
hindi, parang hindi naman nga nawala eh. Yung mga supporters niya parang Lenny pa rin eh. Yung pinag-usapan na natin kanina kay Rize kasi karamihan is still waiting for Lenny comeback eh. Lenny sa 2028, yun pa rin yung inaano nila eh. Hindi, yun na din yun. Yun naman yung reason kung bakit ang dami pumupunta. Yung 9% na yun or kung gaano man kalaki yun, yung base niya, syempre gusto nilang at least maging friendly doon sa leader nung pink na base na yun. Yun lang, hindi ko lang sure nga how that will affect sa 2028 kung meron pa rin siyang plano na tumakbo for president or kung ano man, tapos hindi alam ng mga kasama niya or hindi nga sinasama, 'di ba? Siguro nga siguro for Risa siguro, gawa na siya ng sariling squad niya. Mga ano na, mga established na you have Jokno na, you have Trillanes, you have mga alam mong mas makarisa. So maybe start from there.
Mahirap talaga yan, no, Ronald, no? It's really hard. Because
Ako,
casting is isa pang ang
I'm
hirap.
almost sure hindi ko kontrahin ni Risa si Lenny. Magde-defer siya kay Lenny.
Yun.
Okay,
Pero syempre, it doesn't hurt na you build yourself up for kung ano man ang
just in case. Yeah,
eventuality.
I mean, yun nga. But ang hirap, di ba, Mark? You can see the challenge there. Ang hirap eh. Ang hirap eh. Kasi at some point, you're gonna step on some toes, right? And
Parang bitin eh. Parang bitin.
yeah, well, it is what it is. Now, last...
Siguro ito siguro naisip ko lang. Risa needs to break out doon sa identity ng Pink Dilaw. Yun siguro eh. Medyo mahirap yun. Kumbaga yung Pink Dilaw should be just one part nung of her as a whole. So that would mean you have Trillanes and Jokno on one hand, pero on the other side may kasama ka pang progressive. On the other side may kasama ka pang mga nasa gitnang mga trapo. On the other side, parang lawakan yung base na ganun eh.
But
Lawakan
anyway, I
yung
mean,
reset.
Rizzo can run for VP and Lenny can run for president and hindi nila kailangang magbanggaan, di ba? So in a way, yung sinasabi ni Mark could work for her as a vice president, diba?
Oh.
Diba, Ronald? I mean, Riza could run for VP instead, and maybe it's even more viable, but she still has to be viable for VP, right? So a lot of things that Mark is saying would still make sense, right? So long as it's clear na Riza will defer eventually if Lenny decides to run for the president. Again, I hope you...
Pero the thing is, kapag mas mataas na si Risa sa survey, ibang usapan na yun eh. So yun ang, di ba medyo
well, I mean,
pero
obviously,
yun nga yung punto eh. Dapat hindi tumitigil eh. Dapat the goal should always be na yung brand of leadership mo, yung progressive politics mo, maging attractive for people na ay gusto kong presidente.
And what if Lenny really doesn't run after all, di ba? Tama ka naman, Mark. I agree. Yeah.
Ang problema lang, sabi nga
isang example nga si Ellie San Fernando. Maybe yung mga ganong types that could work well with mga although may sarili siyang party list, pero yun nga.
Sinasabi naman ni Trillanes, kung hindi malinaw yung Lenny factor, ang hirap kay Risa na makapag-breakout. No? Dahil nandun yun eh. Habang nandun yung 9-10% ni Lenny na hindi ganun kalinaw kung tutuloy o hindi, will focus on local rather than national sa 2028. Habang bitin doon, hindi siya talaga makapag-breakout eh. Di ba? Dahil
kung maghanap siya siguro ng ibang base na, ibang na. Marami pa naman dyan.
Problema lang, hindi ganun kadali. Dahil
hindi ganun kadali.
Nahati sa Duterte and PBBM. At
nakatayap din naman sa progressive Kumbaga, when you're thinking how to grow Risa, you're also thinking how to grow the progressive movement sa Pilipinas eh. So how to make it more palatable na in the future, yung Pilipino, gugustuhin namin magkaroon ng progressive na vice president. Progressive. So I think aligned naman dun eh. Hindi separate siya kay Lenny. So I think pwede nilang simulan sa ganun. Kasi the pink crowd will always be there naman eh. Kapag nagsettle na kung sinong tatakbo.
But Mark, yun nga, what if suddenly our numbers are higher than Lenny and then the pink crowd still wants Lenny to run and then we have a certain... But anyway, I want...
That's a good problem to have, di ba? Kasi sabihin, ang taas na ng numbers mo. Well, tsaka natin pag-usapan. Hindi, pero that is good for everyone. Kasi ibig sabihin, the pie is growing. Di ba?
Yeah,
that's a good problem to have.
But yun nga, Mark, I think no one is disagreeing that the pie has to be enlarged. Ang sinasabi ni Ronald dito, the problem is that the enlarging of the pie might be seen as zero sum by certain quarters but anyway, I don't want to say
yun ang punto ko nga siguro, Richard. 'Di ba? Bahala silang magsalita kung anong gusto nila. Basta we will grow Akbayan, we will grow the progressive movement, we will grow magkakampi tayo. Okay tayo. Pero hayaan mo kami diskarte kung anong tingin naming okay, 'di ba? So, 'yun.
Now, last point, Sir Ronald, ano ba yung mga good and the bad and the ugly since medyo cowboy natin for 2025? Ano yung mga interesting things you look forward to? Ano yung mga medyo nakakatakot at yung mga worst case scenarios also? We have to kumbaga magana tayo ngayon. Hindi na tayo Toronaga, na tayo? Madam Auring. Let's do a little bit of Madam Auring, Sir Ronald.
Sa akin ang bad kung yung gobyerno ay kung hindi papayagang bumagsak yung Damocles swords sa ulo ng mga Duterte, no? Tingin ko that will be bad. Not only for them but for the whole country, no? Kaya dapat yung mga
because the
Dutertes will have momentum. after the midterms, no? Kung hindi na-impeach, kung hindi na ICC, kung walang criminal charges na file, no, until the midterms, no, most of those who left them will begin to gravitate back. Dahil nga nasa dikit pa naman sila ni Tulfo as the primary contender for 2028. After the midterms, politicians will be securing their political future. And their political future ay nakatali kung sino ang mataas for 2028. No? At definitely, yung mga Marcoses ay hindi mataas. So, yun yung delikado. Baka maging maagang lame duck ang presidente. Kung hindi, if they won't go for the jugular, no, sa mga Duterte. No? If they won't go for the jugular,
Again,
if
Sir
they
Ronald,
won't,
the
yeah.
reason I said why is because there are many people there who will be happy to see the Marcoses fall. They'll be more than happy to see the Marcos project failing. So what do you have to say to
Well,
those
ang,
people?
ang tingin ko naman ay majority naman ng mga Pilipino are more anti-Duterte than anti-Marcos, no? Ang problema lang ay kung halimbawa yung mga nasa gitna, yung mga undecided, yung mga disenchanted sa pagkawasak ng unity team, yung pink at saka yellow, yung nasa middle, no, ay mafu-frustrate din sa Marcos, no? Then delikado ang mga Marcoses. For now, itong mga undecided, itong mga frustrated sa pagkawasak ng unity team, itong mga pink and yellow will defend the constitutional order, no? Whoever yung nandyan. Unless no, makita nila na masyado ng corrupt, masyado ng winawasak yung mga liberal democratic institutions, hindi lamang ng mga Duterte, kung hindi ng mga alipores ng mga Marcoses. Kung pupunta ron, then delikado, no? Wag mong kalimutan, hindi naman ganun kalaki ang agwat ng Marcoses with the Duterte sa mga surveys. Kahit dramatically bumababa yung mga Duterte, no? Hindi sila pulling away yung mga Marcoses. So dapat maingat sila.
Yeah.
Yet they have to preserve the middle and their political base at the same time. Kung yung middle magalit sa kanila, delikado sila. No?
Might
Kaya
find themselves
ako,
isolated. But Sir
kaya
Ronald, is there something you look forward to in a positive sense or something you're cautiously optimistic about?
well, ako nga, kung madurog ang mga Duterte, that is something to be optimistic about. At saka yung playing field going into 2028, medyo na level. Dahil tinanggal mo yung isang elephant in the room, no? Kung madudurog ang mga Duterte before or during the midterm, no? That will level the playing field to some extent and perhaps will give way for a possible black swan. No, yun yung nakikita kong positive. Kaya the battle is for the midterm. Very crucial itong midterm for 2028. Yun yung aking sinasabi. Kaya it can be bad, it can be good. Yung good ay kung madurog ang mga Duterte. That is the good aspect. Moving beyond the midterm,
But
going.
because you're saying okay, let's spell it out. The reason I'm saying bakit mahalaga na dapat madurog ang mga Duterte? I'm like spelling it out. Is it because
Yes,
they're the number one threat to our constitutional order and potentially West Philippine
definitely,
national?
definitely. At
Just have to spell it out.
mawawalan ng foothold yung China dito. Mawawala ng foothold yung China dito sa ating domestic politics. Sa ngayon, ang foothold ng China sa ating domestic politics are the Dutertes. Kung matanggal sila sa equation, then dramatically manghihina yung foothold ng China sa loob. No? Nandun sila, yung aggression nila sa labas, yun, dun sila magpapatuloy. Pero inside, ay mawawala yon, no? Which is positive for me. Aside dun sa pagbabago ng domestic political landscape going into 2028. So marami siyang mga positive elements. Matanggal lang ito. Pero ang worry ko, nag-hesitate eh. Nag-hesitate yung mga Marcoses to go for the jugular.
The character is destiny. The story of the
Yeah.
past years of
Yeah.
our discussions.
So yun yung aking yun naman yung negative aspect nito. If they hesitate, if they blink, then they have everything to lose.
Mark, obviously yours is more on a personal note because you're the man in the ring. What are the things you're looking forward to, excited about, obviously next year, and ano yung mga medyo nakakabahala sa'yo, both of course from a personal perspective, but also for the national interest for our democracy.
Ayun, syempre excited ako dito sa upcoming campaign period. Medyo, ngayon pa lang naghihirapan na ako yung sa mga araw ko, paano ko hahatiin yung Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Pero I'm excited na umikot uli, maikutan yung mga kaibigan natin dyan, get to know yung mga nangyayari sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. I'm also excited dun sa mga local races na sinusuportahan ko at inikutan ko. So, I'm also excited to see that. Pero pareho lang din yung ano ko yung kay Sir Ronald eh. Sa midterms importante din, I think lalo na dun sa audience na nakikinig sa atin. Importante na magdagdag sa Senado ng mga people who could stand up to the Dutertes eh. Mga tulad ni Bam, tulad ni Heidi, tulad ni Kiko, tulad ko. Ayun. So, tinama ko na yung sarili ko. Pero anyway, hindi, importante yung sa midterms na gano'n na kapag hindi para iklaro lalo yung sinasabi ni Sir Ronald, kapag hindi natuluyan ng mga Marcos yung mga Duterte in 2028, it will be a tulfo laban kay Sara. Yun eh. Yun lang yung anyone else na tumakbo outside of that, kakain sa boto ni Tulfo, makakatulong kay Sara. So yun ang nakikita kong magiging problema diyan. So importante na this year magtulungan na muna, tapusin. Wala namang masama na punahin yung mga nakikitang mali sa administrasyon. Karapatan naman yan and hindi naman pinipigilan yung mga taong magano dyan. Pero importante, critical yung taon na to eh. Kasi tama si Ronald, pag umabot pa ng 2026 at the Dutertes are still standing tall. And lalo na kung may napanalo sila sa 2025, yung mga ano nila, 'di ba? So critical yung 2025 doon eh. Kasi kapag lumagpas pa yan, 2026, Tulfo Sara, yun na yung laban doon. Pero if you take out Sara out of the equation, free for all na yung 2028. Nandyan yung Tulfo, nandyan yung Lenny, nandyan lahat ng gustong tumakbo. Escudero, Grace po, lahat yan, lalaban yan sabay-sabay. So mas magiging maraming choices, maraming options. Unlike sa kung hindi matapos ang 2025, it will be Tulfo Sara. Yun na yun. Yun na yung pinakalaban talaga. And yun. Delikado eh. Tandaan nyo na lang kung paano na lang tratuhin ng mga DDS yung mga pinks, yung mga yellows nung term nila. Kumpara mo sa nangyayari ngayon, medyo malayo eh. Medyo malayo. Ngayon, malayang nakakapag criticize. 'Di ba? Ayaw niyo ng budget, sige, criticize niyo, mag-rally kayo, mag-ano kayo. Ano, 'di ba? You don't see the level of animosity na ginagawa nung panahon before. So, malayo pa rin. So, yun lang naman yung sa akin.
Democratic
Uh,
space, no, that's what Senator De Lima has been mentioning. I mean, yeah, I mean, for me, I share your hopes and fears. Indeed, I mean, Sir Ronald knows. I mean, I always use yung kuting ng Norte, like that could become a problem. For everything you can say about the Dutertes and their decline, if there's no decisiveness, there's no center of gravity, this could go splintering 10,000 different ways, right? As Ronald correctly mentioned, Sir Ronald mentioned, there are already people agitating within the cabinet. You know, other personalities are trying to leave their imprint. So one worrying scenario could be walang mapuntahan lahat ng mga nangyari ngayon in terms of investigations and expose, and that could create even more cynicism among our voters. And Sir Ronald and Mark, what I'm also worried about is sa sobrang daming mga clowns and questionable characters who could end up in the Senate next year, no offense again, people might totally like switch off, right? It's like this, like forget about the Philippines, right? Like wala talagang mangyayari. So this could be a very scary scenario that, you know, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope enough of good people make it to the Senate. Of course, shout out kay Mark Gamboa dyan. Also, of course, we also hope na some sort of accountability happens. Siguro naman si Ronald next year na, maybe not September, but next year na there'll be some ICC thing, right?
Pero bakit mo sinabi na no offense? The populist ethos is always go on the offense.
Hindi naman kasi ako populist, Sir Ronald eh. I'm a man of institutions.
Meron din ako yung last note pala, Richard. Gusto ko lang din sabihin, nakalimutan ko kanina.
Sure.
Please focus sa Mindanao. Yun naman yun eh. Yung mga buhusan nyo na, mga akap na yung mga, pero yung mga Mindanao Railway, okay naman yung mga akap na tulungan nyo yung mga taga Mindanao din, pero yung Mindanao Railway Infrastructure Project, make the Mindanaoans feel na kasama sila sa pag-unlad, kasama sila sa, para hindi sila ma-disenfranchise, hindi sila Ayun, so yun naman yung request ko lang. Yung Mindanao Railway talaga, sana gawa na nila ng paraan.
Oh,
Kung
kaya
paano man. Kaso parang next year na naman.
China. Parang project ng China yan, ng BRI ng next year sinag-usapan. Let's see, baka naman, mga tulong. No, no, but at the same time, I'm hoping at least on the ICC, there'll be something there. Pwede mag-snowball itong mga iba't ibang kaso na yun. At the same time, I also hope a movement comes out of this. A movement of a genuine opposition, a movement for good governance and human rights. On that note, thank you very much, Sir Ronald Llamas, for our second year ender, because we had that also with Justice Carpio. And also thank you to Mark Gamboa for our second year end. Sorry, kasi wala na pag
Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you so much for this. So, Sir Mark,
Happy New Year.
Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year and blessed Merry Christmas to everyone. Talk to you soon. Pahinga na kayo. God bless.